Wrestlers and fans in the British wrestling scene are saying enough's enough after a rash of sexual assault allegations among the area's more prominent names come to light. I'm Brian Zane, and in association with Powerbomb.tv, it's time for This Week in Independent Wrestling. The British independent wrestling scene has been rocked this past week by a growing number of sexual assault accusations against multiple individuals. It was reported last week that Daniel Edler, founder of IPW UK, now involved with Spotlight Wrestling, was publicly implicated in a number of incidents of sexual impropriety with underage individuals, including a fan who is currently training to become a wrestler. The trainee in question intends on taking the matter to authorities. As of last year, Edler is no longer associated with IPW, but the promotion did put out a statement on Twitter Wednesday saying, quote, "We commend the bravery of this young lady and will continue to support her and anyone else who privately or publicly comes forward with any allegation across the wrestling landscape. No one should feel like they do not have a voice." End quote. Several fans and wrestlers have voiced their displeasure with Edler, including Will Ospreay, who said, quote, "Anyone that now wrestles for this man, cut away from him now." End quote. Several wrestlers have already cut ties with Spotlight. Around the same time, another female fan and former wrestling trainee has accused James Strangler Davis, notably of Progress and Rev Pro, of being involved in an abusive relationship with her while she was underage. Davis has been removed from several upcoming events as these accusations have come to light. Other names in the British wrestling scene have been implicated in unrelated incidents, including Bill Duffy, a wrestler and former trainer at BECW, and Tom Russin, promoter of Wrestle Midlands. In other news, it was reported last week by Squared Circle Sirens that Candice LeRae has officially signed with WWE, and this Thursday's bar wrestling event in the LA area will be one of her final independent dates. The show, which has been called Happily Ever After, will feature LeRae taking on her partner in the World's Cutest Tag Team, Joey Ryan. The event in Baldwin Park will also see Billy Gunn, along with the bar wrestling debuts of Joey Janela and Penelope Ford, who will be taking on Eli Everfly and Delilah Doom. And the following night in nearby Wilmington, California, PCW Ultra hosts their anniversary 2K18 event, which will be headlined by a tag team match of Sami Callihan and Johnny Ultra, better known as John Morrison, taking on Penta El Zero M and the legendary Great Muta. Also on tap will be ACH versus Rey Fenix, a four-way between Flip Gordon, Shane Strickland, AR Fox, and Brody King, and much more. Tickets are going fast but are still available at PCWUltra.com. You can also see it on Fight TV. In North Carolina, PWX held their big X16 event over the weekend. The two-day single elimination tournament was won by James Drake, who beat Elijah Evans IV in the final. The shows also saw Chip Day defeat Darius Lockhart to win the PWX ITV title, and the Ugly Ducklings win the PWX Tag Team Championships by beating the Syndicate in a TLC match. A PWG mainstay said goodbye for now at Mystery Vortex 5 this past Friday. The show saw David Starr beat Fred Yehi in a match that was the debut of both men in PWG. Meanwhile, Sammy Guevara beat Rey Fenix. The Chosen Bros of Matt Riddle and Jeff Cobb defended their tag titles against Ring Conf, and Chuck Taylor beat Ricochet to win the PWG World title for a second time. After the match, Ricochet bid farewell to the PWG faithful as he is bound for WWE. Black Label Pro returned to Crown Point, Indiana this weekend for We're Not the Mounties. The show saw several unfortunate last-second changes to the card due to weather and travel issues, but was said to be a crowd pleaser, with the event's namesake, Quebecer Pierre, stealing the show and defeating Ethan Page. The card also saw Joey Janela beat Brian Pillman Jr., Jordan Grace win a Battle Royal, earning the right to challenge for the Black Label Pro Championship in the future, and Tom Lawler retaining his Black Label Pro Championship by defeating Jonathan Gresham. MLW's Zero Hour event took place this past Thursday in Orlando. The card saw the Chosen Bros defeat Tom Lawler and Seth Petrozelli, Low Key and MVP wrestled to a draw, and Jimmy Havoc defeated Shane Strickland in a death match. WWN Live had a busy weekend in New York City with 3 different events. Evolve 98 took place this past Saturday in Queens and saw Ring Conf defeat Catch Point, AR Fox beat Matt Riddle, and Zack Sabre Jr. defend his Evolve Championship against Darby Allin. The following day, WWN Live's Style Battle promotion held an event in Brooklyn, which saw Matt Riddle defeat Joey Janela in the tournament final. Evolve 99 took place later that day, also in Brooklyn, and saw Walter beat Zack Sabre Jr. in a non-title match, and Keith Lee defending his WWN Championship against Chris Dickinson. WWN Live also announced a new international talent for their slate of shows coming up WrestleMania weekend in New Orleans. Munenori Sawa, who has not wrestled for Evolve since Evolve 5, will return to the promotion, joining a stacked lineup of international talent that already includes names like Will Ospreay, Walter, and Daisuke Sekimoto. Sawa and Sekimoto will team up to take on Ring Conf at the Evolve show on Thursday, April 5th in New Orleans. Limitless Wrestling's The World Is Ours event takes place this Friday in Westbrook, Maine. The card features Jeff Cobb versus Darby Allin, Eddie Kingston versus Chris Dickinson, and Fred Yehi versus Martin Stone versus David Starr. Absolute Intense Wrestling's Death Row event takes place this Friday in Cleveland, Ohio. The show will see Ray Rowe, in what will likely be his last AIW appearance before heading to WWE, take on Keith Lee. The show will also feature Dominic Garrini taking on Juice Robinson, and Shane Mercer making his AIW debut against Matthew Justice. AAW's first show of the year takes place in the Chicago area this Saturday. The Art of War will feature the Besties in the World versus Keith Lee and Shane Strickland. The wrestling unit of Jeff Cobb, Trevor Lee, and David Starr squaring off with the Killer Colt, that's Sami Callihan and the Christs, and Matt Riddle challenging Ray Phoenix for the AAW Championship. Staying in Chicago, Freelance Wrestling's Stained Glass Ceilings event took place this past Friday there. The show saw Darren Corbin defeat Gary J., Anthony Henry beat Jake Parnell, and the returning Isaias Velasquez beat Bucky Collins. The show was streamed live on Powerbomb.tv. And speaking of Powerbomb.tv, the streaming service announced their live stream schedule for the beginning of 2018, and it will include events from Beyond, WWR, PCW, and Freelance, as well as shows from IWA Mid-South and Chaos Wrestling in the UK. Be sure to follow Powerbomb.tv on Twitter for updates on future live stream events. And if you want to subscribe to Powerbomb.tv, use the promo code BrianSentMe and get your first 20 days absolutely free. Got any tips regarding any news, upcoming stories, or results? Send them our way via direct message at facebook.com/independentwrestling. For Powerbomb.tv, I'm Brian Zane, and I'll see you next time.